Well, joining us now from Portland, Oregon is Peter Bechtold. He is the former director for Near East and North African Studies at the U.S. Department of State's Foreign Service Institute. Hi there, welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you.
So I was just listening to our reporter there on the ground in Damascus, and he says that they actually took them on a tour of this area where the airstrikes hit, just to show them that if there was in fact sarin gas or any type of poisonous chemicals there, they would have still been feeling the fumes from them. And that also the government is saying that this was a medicinal area. What is your response to that?
Well, I'm not there, I'm here, but you know, I've never believed the story as told in the first place. I don't believe that these attacks were about chemical weapons. These were about political situations in Washington, London, and maybe Paris. The rest of the world is going to look at this and say, why did they not give the inspectors a chance? Why did they attack before the inspectors arrived? This is a very, very strange story, which is going to become more debated as the next few days come along.
And so why do you say it's a strange story, Peter?
Well, you know, from a purely military point of view, the Syrian government was winning. They had no reason to use chemical weapons, which they knew would produce a reaction from foreign powers, especially the United States. And the rebels who were there, especially Jaish al-Islam, who may have been implicated in using chemicals, had every reason tactically to use them because they were losing and losing badly. They were fighting for their lives. And when you look at the equation in Syria, that Russia is on the side of Syria as well as Iran and de facto Iraq, the only country that could take on Russia would be the United States. And the only way they could get the United States to get under their side might be to claim that something like this has happened. Now, I'm not here to say it didn't happen, but it is very, very suspicious. And Susan, if I may add one more thing, I've noticed for the last 2 to 3 weeks, there has been a drumbeat in the American media attacking Assad's government. And I was wondering what that was about. You know, it didn't start 1 week ago. It started back in March, like it was leading up to something. And it reminds me so much of the lead up to the war in Iraq, I'm very sorry to say.
Do you believe that the Western allies violated international law with this strike?
This is very hard for me to say as an American citizen and one who's given 30 years of my life to the US government under oath. Yes, it is most definitely a violation of international law. We have to remember that Russia was invited by the government of Syria to come and help, much as the United States was invited in Vietnam by the government of South Vietnam to come and help. They were there legally, but attacking from the outside, as the Western powers have done for several years now, has been a violation of international law, a violation of the United Nations Charter, and frankly, I've been embarrassed.
Peter, what would be, in your view, a proper response to this alleged chemical weapons attack on the people?
Well, the most first response is to get some international inspectors in there and to find out whether or not it has taken place, and secondly, who did it. Because earlier in this decade, there's very strong evidence that it was not carried out by Assad's government, even though it was accused by the West, by some Western governments, but it was done by opposition members. And I'm afraid we have a replay of that situation. Again, for domestic reasons, that we have governments in trouble. Striking out against a foreign enemy is a time-honored way of dealing with it. But it doesn't lead to further peace in Syria, and it does not improve the American national security. It's actually a setback.
All righty. Well, Peter Bechtold, we're going to have to leave it right there. Thank you.